Is it possible to do legend mode guardless? What's up? This is one of those questions that it's never really been talked too heavily about in the Naruto games. Like, is guarding necessary? And if so, is there a way to beat Naruto Ninja Storm 3 without guarding once? I'm Minato Namikaze, and I'm bringing you by far the hardest fights to do guardless. So you're actually probably asking, hey, why are you continuing this fight? First off, I want to bring up what brought about the idea for this challenge was actually this fight here with the Nine Tails. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. So starting off the list is Hero and Avenger. This fight definitely makes it a bit of a challenge because this is the first time you go up against Sasuke in the game, and depending on whether you're used to changing your moveset in mid-game, there is a chance that this character will give you a good bit of problem. My best strategy for this fight is just hit him with a couple Rasen Shuriken, hit him with a couple good hits with Rasengan, and just hope for your best. Actually, this is one of my favorite fights and one of the first fights I had ever perfected in Ninja Storm 3. So, I had to put this on the list just because it's definitely the most fun to do in this.
To me, revenge is everything. I don't care what happens to anything else.
And you're probably wondering if any of this is going to be an issue. Changing up Naruto and Sasuke's moveset can screw with players, but trust me guys, you guys have seen what I can do in these fights, and trust me. At number 4, we have Immortal Art, Tsuchikage versus Deidara. This fight is by far one of the most annoying, and it's because Deidara is one of those characters who spams his ultimate a lot. Luckily for us, with a couple really well placed fire bombs, using your substitutions properly, and obviously not wasting your materials, because if you do, you might as well kiss this fight goodbye. And honestly, a lot of Deidara's attacks are pretty predictable, but for those of you that have never played the Tsuchikage before, he is a challenge to get your hands on and start playing straight out of the box, especially against someone like Deidara. So just be aware of that, guys. But as you can see, very, very much guardless. Very possible without it. With that being said, let's move on. The fight between Madara and the 5 Kage. This fight is notorious for being a pain without defending, because he has access to his Susanoo right off the rip. On top of that, you're using Tsunade, who is perceivably one of the weakest characters on the game. Luckily enough, the RNG for this fight is relatively lucky, so you don't have too much you have to worry about until you get into the Susanoo phase, or at least until you get into the Susanoo phase, and the Susanoo phase breaks your balls more times than Naruto says you know in the series. This base is kind of annoying as well because you don't really have a way to go fully offensive, and not being able to guard makes this part of the fight absolutely a pain. Brothers United takes the number 2 spot. As you can see, it's the Uchiha brothers versus Sage Mode Kabuto. And this fight goes exactly how you probably expected. This fight is ridiculous, fast-paced, and if you come into this without a single kind of strategy, you're gonna get hit by everything. That's just a fact. On top of that, because you can't... Seeing how this is actually one of, by far, the hardest fights in the entire game, and we're removing a significant thing that we're able to do in the game, which is guarding, this fight becomes rather annoying relatively quick. And on top of that, it would be nice if I didn't have to use a freaking protein lunch or a thunder lunch for literally everything in this fight. Okay, this fight is virtually impossible without items. Even, like, I've noticed, because you can't block Shuriken, and he primarily attacks with Shuriken during this fight, you might as well just... If I can tell you anything, if you have something that boosts your attack and defense, go with that, because honestly, he's gonna get annoying with those repeated spots. And if you think the Sasuke part's hard, you're just gonna be butt clenching the moment that you get into the Sasuke part, the Itachi part. Well, time to down a protein lunch for this final battle, named The Last Battle, Naruto versus the Tailed Beast. This is by far dang near impossible without guarding. It is still possible, but unfortunately I wasn't able to catch it on video. So, yeah. But I've got a good... Unfortunately, I don't really have a strategy for this in particular fight for you guys to go with. Except, go with Legend, because honestly, Legend is going to save you a crap ton. Naruto versus the 6 former Jinchuriki. Yes, this fight, known as The Last Battle, is by far the most annoying of all of the fights. And trying to do this guardless is basically all but impossible. It is possible, but without guarding, the part where you play as Kurama can get kind of annoying quick. So if I can give you any advice for this, is conserve your items until you absolutely need them. But you're probably wondering, is this because this fight is possible, and so is the Kabuto fight, is it possible? Am I saying that Naruto Ninja Storm 3 is possible guardless? Well, the answer is yes. However, is it recommended? No. No, no, it is not. I do not recommend ever attempting this challenge, for those of you that are wondering. Trust me when I say on my no dodge run, substitutions are literally your only defense, because running only delays the inevitable, and this fight here is the one that will stand the test of time. But that also has me asking the question, is there a fight that I'm not even able to block on? And I hope you were staying to the end of the video, because we're going to be covering that now. Ninetales attack. Yes, this fight, you cannot block any of his attacks without taking damage or guard break.